Hello everyone and welcome to lesson 2-4, multiplying integers from the study guide. This is on page 37. As always, we're asked to scan the lesson and see what keywords or key concepts we can summarize in these lines. And when I went ahead and took pictures of the key concepts, one of them is multiplying two integers with different signs, so plus signs and negatives, as you can see here. 2 times negative 6 or negative 2 times positive 6. And you can see that when you multiply with different signs, it's always going to be negative. When you multiply two integers with the same sign, so positive times positive is positive, or negative times negative is positive, it's always going to be positive. So our key concepts for today are multiplying integers with the same signs and multiply integers with different signs. Okay, draw a quick little flower right there to know that you're watching this. As I've mentioned before, if you find that I'm going a little too fast, make sure you can rewatch the video or you just simply pause and read what I've written. Now let's make the real world link. Ballooning. A hot air balloon pilot is flying a balloon 560 meters above the ground. When landing, the balloon descends at a rate of about 8 meters per second. Descent is a key word there. Descent means to go down. Okay, so it's most likely going to be a negative value. Okay? So, descends at a rate of about 8 meters per second. Every second, 8 meters down. Would you use a positive or negative integer to represent the balloon's rate of change? Explain your reasoning. Well, because it says descent, we have to use a negative. Descent means to go down, so let's explain that. So as I mentioned, we would use a negative. The balloon is descending, it's going down, so its height is decreasing. Please place a star right there. Number 2. Complete the table below to show how far the balloon will descend after 5 seconds. Well, we know that every second is negative 8, so in 5 seconds, you guys can simply just multiply 5 times negative 8, and you're going to get your negative 40, right? But let's see how it's written. Here we have time, and here we have distance. We know that we can call this our domain and our range if we wanted to graph this. So 1 second is negative 8, 2 seconds, negative 16, and so on. Right? Makes sense. We're just counting by multiples of 8, but in the negatives, right? Because we are descending. Write an addition expression to represent the total change in the balloon's height after 5 seconds. What is the sum? Now, okay, we're not multiplying. We are writing an addition expression. What is the sum? If we had to add it up, boys and girls, we're adding negative 8 plus negative 8 plus negative 8 plus negative 8 plus negative 8. We are literally adding negative 8 each time as we move down, which would be, in total, negative 40. But why add them when we can simply multiply? Number 4. Multiplication is defined as repeated addition. It really is. Or we're counting by those multiples, right? Repeated addition. Rewrite the expression we wrote in exercise 3, in answer 3, as a multiplication expression. Well, we all know, boys and girls, that it's going by negative 8, how many times? 5 times, right? Or we can simply say 5 will repeat, or 5 times negative 8. They both work. For number 5, they're asking you to predict the value. Well, not really predict, you're solving. It's 8 times 5, they're both different signs, so it's going to be negative, right? So it is negative 40. There's no prediction there, it's just simply solving. And then how long will it take for the balloon to land, knowing that it's 560 meters, right? It's 560 meters above the ground. Above the ground. Okay, how long will it take for it to land? Okay, well, we understand that it's moving at, we're looking for the time. How many seconds are here when we're moving at a rate of 8 meters per second, right? We're moving at a rate of 8 meters per second. Now we use the absolute value of 8 because that's how much we're moving by. We don't really care if it's negative or positive. We just want to use the absolute value to solve how long it will take in time. And 560 divided by 8 is 70. And our unit is seconds, right? 70 seconds. And again, let's put a symbol on here. I would say let's put 3 circles like this. That's a new one. Okay, flip over to the next page, and here we're going to review the rules for multiplying integers. Okay, circle the sign of the product. Now remember, when they are the same, they equal positive. When they are different, they equal negative, right? So easy to do. Positive, positive, same, positive. Positive, negative, they're different, negative. Negative, negative, same. Negative, positive, they're different, negative. Ooh, here we go. Now we're going to go negative, negative will give us a positive. Now we have a positive times a negative, so they're different. Here, this gives us a positive, then a positive times a negative, okay, equals negative, right? And then let's see here. Positive, negative gives us a negative, and then a negative times a positive. They're different, so negative again. I hope that helps. Okay, and for the next exercise, 7 and 8, we're going to use properties, okay, so associative property and commutative properties to solve these two problems. Okay, when we talk about associative, it means we're putting them together, right? We're putting them, we associate two. So let's say I wanted to associate the 6 and the 4, and that I'm going to multiply those two together. So it would look something like this. The first nested parentheses, negative 6 times 4, close the parentheses for the 4, and close the nested parentheses, minus 3. There we go. So that's associative. I've associated those two, and I know I'm going to have negative 24 from those two times negative 3. Right? And negative times negative, they're both the same sign. It's going to give me a positive, and I have my 72. Correct? Okay, over here we're going to use commutative property. Commutative means let's make these little communities, I guess. Commutative, sorry. Let's make these little, that's the way I remember it, by making communities. But let's make these variables, let's put them together in groups, and let's put all the numbers in groups. So what I would like to do is just write negative 3 times 10 times 2 times MP. I could do it like that, times MP. So I took my variables and I put them together. Now I can go ahead and just solve. I get negative 30 from my first two factors times 2 times MP. Okay. And now I'm going to go ahead. Actually, I'm sorry, I skipped this associative property. What I can do right now is just show you how to do the associative property, but I'll show it to you on this line. Okay? I know that this is commutative because we put them together by group. But now if I were to go to the next line and do associative, all I would have done is make a nested parenthesis to show that I'm going to do that part first and then the two. And that's associative, right? So then now I go ahead and continue to multiply down here. I have negative 30 times 2 is negative 60 times MP. And finally, I just have negative 60 MP. Right? I hope that wasn't too confusing. My little guy looks like he got punched out in the eye right there, right? It looks like a swollen eye. Ouch. Remember, for the summary, you're essentially just taking some words from here. How well do you understand multiplying integers? You can write, we learned about multiplying integers. You learned that different signs equal negative and same signs equal positives. Write that down, please.